Hey guys, John coming to you from Evolve Custom Rod Shop, showing you my new how to make rod socks. I'm using braided cable sleeving here. This is 1.5 inch in diameter. This is going to work perfect on the spinning rods. It does expand to over 2 inches. I need at least 2 inches to get from the back of the rod to the tip of the microwave guide. In order to achieve this and allow it to slide on nice and easy and off nice and easy, I need to create a bell shape. For this, I have a cast iron coupling found in the plumbing section at the hardware store. This is 1.25 to 1.5. The base of this is over 2 inches, so that'll give me my clearance once I stretch the sleeving over top of it. Slide the sleeving down. Once it's slid down, you're just going to make sure it's even all the way around. It doesn't have to be perfect. Turn on your heat gun. This is a Harbor Freight multiple heat gun. You know, coupon, they're nice and cheap. I put it on medium low heat and start heating it up. Basically what you're trying to do is form that plastic. You're heating up the metal coupling. That'll heat the inside of the plastic, and then you heat the outside of the plastic as well. I do this for a few minutes. I want to make sure it retains its shape. Once I've done this for a little while, I will actually let it sit for a minute and then hit it with heat again. Reason I do it twice, I've had it fail one time and I don't ever want it to fail again. So now I do it twice. Make sure it's nice and warm. You can use other types of heat, but I haven't had very good luck with anything else. So the heat gun seems to work for me, but you guys might find a torch works for you. Just, be careful. Next thing you're going to need is a paintbrush, something to stir with. You're going to put your coupling away, grab your bell shape now that it's formed, grab some plastic. Buy this at the can at the hardware store. It's about $6. If you notice, I put a tape seal around it. That will help prolong the shelf life. Guys, this thing's a month old and it's already thickened up a ton. And the shelf life on this stuff is not very long. First thing you're going to do is mix it up real good. Pull the stuff from the bottom up top. This will help. If it's thickened up at all, this will help thin it some. But if it's new, it's going to help it mix properly. That way you get good coverage. Once you're done mixing, just wipe the excess on the side of the can. Um, it's going to seem like there's a lot on your mixing stick, but don't worry about it. You won't notice it gone. Then I just start painting. Because this stuff is thickened up so much, I'm probably only going to need one coat. If this stuff was new, I'd probably need 2 to 3 coats. When you're painting this, it's about a 30-minute wait time between coats. Because I'm only putting one coat on, I'm going to wait about 6 to 8 hours before I come back to it. I'm painting up about an inch to an inch and a half from the bottom, making sure I get good coverage. Make sure I'm going all the way down to the very bottom. I will paint the outside. I will also paint the inside. That way I make sure I got full penetration through the sleeving. What this is going to do is help it allow it to get over that guide, that last guide, so much easier. I've had store-bought ones and they don't work like this. These are so easy to get on, so easy to get off. Of course, once you're done painting it, hang it up and you're good to go. Here we are about 8 hours later. You can see the bell's formed. I got great coverage. It's not going anywhere. I pull out my hot knife. This again is a Harbor Freight hot knife. You can cut these with scissors, but you really don't want to. I got this on a setting of 5. I'll grab the rod I'm using. I'm using my green wood-handled rod. I'll link the build of that in the description or at the end of the video. Slide my rod sock all the way down. And basically, I want this all the way down to about an inch to 2 inches in front of the reel seat. That works out perfect for me. Once I got it there, I'm going to take the rod, find the tip of the rod, once we've found the tip of the rod, I'm going to go about 2 to 3 inches above the tip and start to turn on my hot knife. Now this thing takes a while to heat up, so I'm going to be waiting here a minute. I always use the tip to cut. It seems to cut a lot better than, say, the side edge of it. Seem to work better. I use the side edge and I could never get a real clean cut. They do make better hot knives out there, but this one works for me. I pick a seam on the braided sleeving that I'm going to cut. That way I make sure I cut it as straight as possible. Though it's not super important, it just looks better when you start the next one. Yep, still waiting for it to heat up. Okay, I think we're starting to get cutting now. You'll see it'll just kind of start cutting through nice and easy. Like a hot knife through butter, because it's a hot knife through plastic. So, and there we are. We are cut through. Make sure you set it down in a safe place because that is hot. It's smoking and the plastic stinks and you don't want to get that on your countertop. Okay, once we got that, we're going to pull the rod sleeve off and we're going to finish this bad boy up. You notice how easy that sleeve comes off the rod? That has a lot to do with that bell shape. Go up to the tip here. We want to put something on the tip to keep it closed. Heat shrink is what you need. I buy kits of it on Amazon. Since I'm using a green rod, I'm going to use green heat shrink. Here's the only problem. Make sure the heat shrink is bigger than the diameter you're putting it on. Or as you can see here, you'll fight with it and fight with it and fight with it. I probably cut 5 minutes of video out of this because I was fighting with it for so long. It's not worth it. Heat shrink shrinks. Heat shrink is cheap. Just put a bigger piece of heat shrink on it. So after struggling with this for 5-10 minutes, I finally came to the conclusion that I could not get it down all the way, and I'm just going to put another piece on. These heat shrink pieces are about 2.5-3 inches long. That's more than adequate. That's about how far I go above the tip when I put it in. So I give up. I grab a bigger piece of heat shrink. I don't have that bigger piece in green, so I pick black, good neutral color. As you watch, this slides right over. No issues, no problems. Look at that. Now I leave the heat shrink overhanging about 1 millimeter or 2. What this does is allow it to kind of cinch up on the end. It also, if there are any loose loose parts of the sleeving. It'll kind of keep them tamed down. Take your heat gun. Again, be careful of the heat. I have it on medium low at first. I then switch it to high. All you need to do is just make sure you don't melt it. Heat it up, make sure it's shrunk down. I will use open flames on heat shrink a lot, but since you have your heat gun here, I just go ahead and use that. Now that you're all shrink down to size, we're going to put a finishing touch on it. This is not necessary, but you know what? I do like it. It works really well for me. Pull out the plastic dip again. Pull your seal off. And what I'll do is give it a little dip. This just kind of seals off the end. Again, if this is new plastic dip, you're going to need 2 to 3 coats of it. Fortunately for me, this is a 1-coat wonder because it's thickened up just to the right consistency. But I probably won't be able to use it next time I go to use it. So if you're going to make these sleeves, try and make them all at once. That way you get consistent results. Or at least within a few days of each other. I'll then let this hang dry, and you're all finished. Guys, thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Share my videos. That helps me out a lot. And if you want to subscribe to my channel for more stuff in the future, feel free. Thanks.